So I do understand that many of my subscribers are into budget fragrances. You're not necessarily looking to break the bank. You want to smell good, but you don't want to spend over $100. That's completely understandable. Times are hard. Here we have a fragrance by Dossier. This is actually their take on 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. Their version is called Woody Green Apple. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on it and also let you know how close I think it comes to the original, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video and I tell you all about Woody Green Apple by Dossier, which is their impression of 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, I'll give you my thoughts on the smell, the performance, the likeness to the original, so on and so forth. But I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and make sure to click where it says enable all notifications. This way, whenever I do upload these videos, and I upload on a daily basis, they will get delivered straight to your feed. And give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's episode. So of course, 1 Million is such a popular fragrance. Everybody knows about it. The gold bullion of the fragrance game. It smells like bubblegum from what a lot of people say. It does have an apple vibe in it. It's a little minty. It also has a bit of a rosy vibe. I know the Intense version specifically had a nice bit of rose to it, so it kind of took things in a different direction. And of course, whenever you do purchase a fragrance by Dossier, it does come with this little card on the inside, very transparent in terms of the ingredients and the concentration, even giving you an exact percentage. So for a lot of designer releases, and even niche for that matter, it's very nebulous, right? So they'll say this is an eau de toilette, this is an eau de parfum, this is an extrait de parfum, but rarely do they actually give you the percentage and say this is 15% oil, it's 20%. So this actually does say 12% concentration. So this is the equivalent of an eau de toilette. So it has apple, grapefruit, mint, lavender, rose, cinnamon, cedar, patchouli, and amberwood. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So my initial impression from this one was, hey, it smells like 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, right? As soon as I sprayed it on, I was like, there it is. There's that familiar smell. And of course, through the sophisticated process of reverse engineering, you can pretty much clone anything as long as you have access to the ingredients. There are some ingredients to which many manufacturers may not have access because they are what are called captive ingredients or captive molecules. So they are licensed for use only by a specific brand. So it seems here like they got it pretty close, because as soon as I sprayed it, my initial thought was, it smells like 1 Million, right? It has that bright, fresh, sweet, rosy, slightly spicy, cinnamony, minty, compliment-worthy DNA of the original. So in case you've been living under a rock and you haven't tried the original, let me go ahead and explain what it smells like. So it opens up very sweet and like bubblegum, people would say. So it does have like this sweet, almost gourmand-leaning personality about it. You do get the apple that's in here, you do get the cinnamon, and it brings out all of the sweet characteristics of the cinnamon. And it's a little bright, I guess, on account of a touch of mint, I meant to say, but the mint isn't too strong in this one. As a matter of fact, taking a look at some of the other ingredients that are on this card, including the lavender, the rose, it kind of has this gentlemanly, aromatic vibe to it, but because of that sweetness, a lot of people won't be able to shake it. So for a lot of people, it will smell youthful, it will smell even perhaps a little quote-unquote juvenile, but in my opinion, the ladies love it, right? Every time I've worn the original 1 Million, or even 1 Million Elixir, 1 Million Privé, and some of the other flankers from the brand, I've gotten really good positive attention, gotten a bunch of compliments. And in terms of the base of amberwood and cedarwood, I do get a bit of a residual sweetness in the base, presumably that's coming from the amberwood, but I don't get anything woodsy per se, right? I've smelled a lot of woodsy fragrances, Burberry Hero being one of them. That smells very strongly of cedarwood. Most designer fragrances, it says that they have patchouli, but it's really an ingredient called clear wood, or it's some other synthetic molecule that is used in place of that ingredient. But in any case, in this particular fragrance, it's sweet, it's spicy, there's a little bit of a freshness, and I definitely pick up on the lavender. In terms of making that comparison, like, hey, how close do I think it is to the original 1 million? I think it's about 90 to 95% similar. I don't think it's exactly the same. I think they brought it very, very close. And if you take a look at the website, it's very affordable and the performance is actually quite decent. I think from what I've been hearing and what I've been told, the newer batches of 1 million don't last as long as the original formulation. It has been around for a very long time now, so I'm not totally surprised that the fragrance has gotten a bit weaker throughout the years with all of the reformulations and the watering down and whatever. So if you're actually interested in buying that fragrance or that style of a DNA, but for a really affordable price, definitely check out Woody Green Apple by Dossier. I have a good feeling it'll be to your liking. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, of course, nothing unique here. This is a clone or an inspiration of 1 Million Eau de Toilette by Paco Rabanne. However, the overall smell is incredibly pleasant, highly inoffensive, and even in terms of like sweet styled fragrances, there are a lot of other fragrances out there, even from Paco Rabanne themselves, that smell sweeter than 1 Million in my opinion. Phantom is a lot sweeter than 1 Million. At least this kind of has that aromatic lavender-like personality in the heart to sort of cut away the sweetness. Something like Phantom is a little sweeter in my opinion. Longevity on this one was about 7 hours. The projection was great for the first 45 minutes of application. It became an elbows length scent right around hour 4. It became a skin scent right around hour 6.5 or 7. In terms of the versatility, you can wear this one I think in every season except for the winter because it does lack a little bit on the performance, but I think it would work great on account of the sweetness as the weather starts to get a little bit colder, but not when it's super frigid outside. I think this one does lean a little masculine because of that association that a lot of people already have with the original 1 Million. And I do think that this is great for somebody who is perhaps a little bit younger, an early college student, or perhaps even a high school student. And I do think this one gives off casual vibes, and you can also wear this partying, clubbing, or to a bar. I probably wouldn't wear this one in a suit and tie though. So it does give off a bit more of a casual vibe, I suppose. And in terms of the presentation, very simple, very minimalist. I like the inclusion of the card here, but it keeps the cost down. My final verdict on this fragrance is if you're looking for an affordable alternative to 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, you want something that comes quite close to the original from a brand that has a very easy return policy, very sort of no-nonsense approach to this stuff, very transparent in the way that they conduct business. I would definitely trust Dossier. Definitely check out Woody Green Apple if you're a fan of the 1 Million DNA and you want that kind of a DNA, but for a really, really inexpensive price. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Once again, hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I upload these videos to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.